Yes.
Hello,
Hey,
yes.
all good. Hello, guys. Glad to be here. So we were supposed to be doing a live stream today, but we have we need to sort still to make sure we make the demo optimal, and we have been collecting a ton of feedback from the community. Super thankful for that. So improving stuff, and we'll demo when things are a bit more close to the final view we have. But we can still speak about the Omnichain today and have a good talk about that. So maybe I'll let you do the intro, Patriot and GP, and we can get into it.
Yeah, Jam, everybody. Yeah, I think we
Okay.
we could say a different way. Like the Omnichain upgrade is such a big improvement and such a big lift that we figured out that it can even be made better. So that's why there's a slight delay because you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but these live streams will be recorded and then used for content, like for official content, and there is no use in recording something that is not optimal yet. So that's just a simple way we decided to do a space this week and not to skip it. Yeah, excited to be talking about the Omnichain again. I think today we'll be talking a bit more about the journey, how it all came together of like what was identified was suboptimal and how it was changed and how the community played a role and all of it and yeah, how we utilize this going forward. But yeah, Patriot, how are you doing? How's everything?
I am doing freaking good, you guys. It's 5 in the morning. I had 16 cups of coffee. I'm fired up. I'm so ready to hear what's going on. And you're totally right. I mean, if we're going to be making this video like the last one we did the live stream, we want to make sure everything's locked in and it looks good because you only get one first impression, right? What we're making is absolutely banger. It's wild. It's crazy. It changes everything. So, yes, good call. Next week or maybe the week after, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. When we're ready, when everything's nice and buttery and silky smooth, then we do the video, then we show the world, and then, send it, baby. You know what I'm talking about, boys? Send it. So we're ready.
Standard. That's amazing.
Let's
So
go.
let's go. And I guess that's a nice intro here. But PM, perhaps just a quick one in 2, 3, 4 minutes. What has been on your mind as, and perhaps I don't know if Mark is on here as well. What have been on your minds the last weeks? Where are you at?
Well, it has been really two things. It has been full focus on getting this Omnichain out, and then uh, finding all those ways to further improve it. It's, as you said, a massive change in how we do things, and I can dig a bit more into that. But it comes with it's really when you want to take something very complex that involve a lot of different chains and a lot of different tokens in that case, and making it into something simple, it's a lot of work in the back end. So it has been a lot about that, collecting feedback, thinking about how we best display things, and then of course letting our Rockstar dev team find way to improve all that and put it into actionable code. And the other thing has been, of course, credit accounts as well. We actually launched a first version, a revised version of StageNet yesterday. It's we are testing also improving stuff, so two parallel tracks at the same time, that and also fixing some stuff in the infra still. So it has been fairly busy. Parallel processing those two things, but we are Hans was targeting a launch this week. We have done all the change on from Albon on the audit side, but we are just waiting for their approval for the final report, so then we can deploy the code on mainnet and start testing live there. And I can also cover a bit more, like it will be a stage launch, not everything from the get-go, but it's getting very close. So that been the two things: Omnichain and the credit account for CBDO.
Amazing. I mean, I did watch, had a look into the preview UI already, and guys, borrowing is coming. No need to sell anything anymore. But Mark, what's on your plate? Just 2 to 4 minutes. Come on.
Yeah. lots going on, obviously, in the back. People might not see it, but there's a lot of plumbing being fixed and built. I've been involved in a few integrations of recent, and it's very clear to me that this cross-chain capability that we keep talking about really has legs. Like, you have all these different protocols that are massive, who have a very strong user base in the Ethereum ecosystem or Bitcoin or Doge. Like, they really have like their little walled garden in their little ecosystem. And they're very eager to obviously grow like everybody else. And the way they do it, the way they want to do it, is to have some way of deploying on various different chains and use other tap into other ecosystems and chains. Really, Rujira is that place to do it. If you want to, let's say you have a stable coin and you want to go beyond the Ethereum ecosystem, where would you do it? Rujira is arguably the best place to be able to do that coming up. So yeah, that's really exciting, and obviously there's a lot of things to work out before we bring in a ton of liquidity and these massive protocols. But I really do think that we have a unique shot at pulling this off. A lot of people before us have tried, and I don't think they've succeeded in a big way. But building on Thorchain really allows us to nail it, I think. So it's all on us, and we're doing everything we can to nail this. But yeah, exciting times for sure with the new Omnichain capabilities and UI, with the credit accounts coming out, and then everything that follows from that.
Amazing. Okay. I think, as we said, and as the title says discover with Rujira Omnichain DeFi. Perhaps I'll give the word back to you, PM. If you think back, and credits here, because most of the like product structural work, I think, like, let's say that this vision of Omnichain has been put together by Erudite, at least in the structure and in the spec that we implemented there, and just to go back on, yeah, what we identified, what the community identified, was a little bit missing in the UI, or suboptimal in the user experience before we started to do these changes. Want to elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, no, of course. And big shout out for Erudite, because he really has been the one pushing for this revised approach, and I think this has been great. It's really the right choice. If you think about how we did stuff initially, so taking a step back, Thorchain, what it allows us to do is to really be these hubs that connect all those different chains, including Bitcoin, ETH, also CVMs, Solana, Soon, Doge, BCH, LTC, XRP, all those chains in one place, and all the assets on those chain. So what we really try to do here is to abstract as much as possible the concept of different chains and wallets for end users, and offer, we always mention the sex-like experience, but yeah, really, like if you're on Binance, you deposit your asset on Binance, and then you do stuff with your assets, and you don't care from which chain they originated. All you do is just, you have Bitcoin and Sol and XRP and USDC, and you trade that, you borrow, you lend, you do whatever you want. If you operate on chain currently, you have to have a different wallet if you do stuff on Bitcoin versus on Solana versus on EVMs, and you'll have to do like, you can't interoperate those different things. Thorchain allows us beautifully to do all those things all in one place. And the initial design, because all of this is so new, like nobody has done the proper like Omnichain stuff before. And when we started it, we still had this concept of you have to select a chain. So for example, you will connect your different wallets. You will have, let's say, your MetaMask wallets and your Kepler wallets connected. And then you will have to select one of the different chain. And we have this chain-centric approach. And so you will select your Ethereum chain to deposit ETH or USDC on Rujira. Then you will connect your Bitcoin wallet. You'll select your Bitcoin wallet to deposit some BTC. And then you will have to connect your Kepler wallet or another Thorchain compatible wallet to do stuff with those assets on Rujira. And now we spinned this model around. And what we are doing is, instead of having this chain-centric view, we are going for this token-centric view. So you will now have to connect a THORChain compatible wallet. So like, I highly recommend Kepler. That's the one that works the best. Multisig is also the other one that works quite nicely for people who want to handle private key and this type of things. So those two are the options, best options currently. CTRL work as well if you don't use a ledger, but it has a bit more issues, and the rest are not fully compatible. So you need one of those wallets, and you can still connect all your other wallets as well. But you only have to select one address, which is your THORChain address from one of those compatible wallets. And then, no matter where you are, you will see all your balance aggregated from all the connected chains. So if you have USDC on, say, Ethereum, Avalanche, and Base, and BSC, you will see and some on Rujira already, you will see this combined balance all together as a total, and you will have a little breakdown with a little icon. If you put your mouse over, you will be able to see the breakdown. And whenever you will want to do something, the UI will just prompt you to do whatever you want to do. So let's say I want to launch USDC across my different wallets on different chains that are connected. I have like 1,000 USDC. There is actually 20 USDC on Rujira, that's it, and 500 on ETH, and a bit on Base as well, 500 or 490 on 480 on Base. That's total to 1,000. I want to deposit 1,000. Well, you only have 20 on Rujira, so first UI will prompt you, hey, deposit your ETH, your USDC from the Ethereum chain. It will pick. In that case, you will have to do 2 deposits, because of course you have 2 chains, so still 2 deposits, but it will take your assets, convert them. So for ETH, it will be USDC from ETH is the one we use, so it will be just a simple deposit. For the one, the USDC you have on Base, because the Base asset we use on THORChain is the Ethereum version of USDC, it will automatically, by default, convert that to the correct version using THORChain in the backend to do the swap. And you sign one transaction per chain. So most of the time, hopefully, it's just one transaction. Here, it will be 2 transactions. Your deposits get started. And once this is processed, you have your assets on Rujira, and you can do your stuff and continue from the UI. And you can also directly use the deposit button at the top of the screen, or you can just go navigate the website, see your combined balance, and if you try to do something with more than what you have, the UI will tell you what to do. So this is very cool, and I think the correct mental picture is really this decentralized text. It's the same way when you want to use Binance. First thing you will have to do is to deposit funds on Binance, so to transfer from whatever chain funds to Binance. And this is exactly the way it works now with Rujira, and with the exception that it's fully decentralized. So you are not sending your assets to a multisig controlled by CZ and a few friends. You are sending your assets to an Asgard vault secured by 120 node operator on THORChain that rotate every 3 days with a private key that is shared across those node operators. That's it's fully decentralized. It's a much more resilient security model, and it's permissionless, no KYC. Nobody can arbitrarily freeze your funds or block your asset, or decide that we are not going to let you deposit because we don't like the country where you were born, or whatever other discriminatory behaviors that can be enforced on people. So that's really what it is. It changed a lot the game. Of course, in the backend, it's also big rewrite of the full architecture, data architecture of how we organize things. So it was a big lift, but very much worth it, and it's super exciting, really. It's already quite smooth, and it's only going to get smoother from there. I think people will enjoy it. It was a necessary brick in the foundation before we can build upon that and start to attract people from various communities.
Okay, wait. So what you're saying, I think that is before you had a multi-chain, omni-chain experience where you need to be aware on which chain your wallet is, basically, and you still need to know where are your funds. You need to know where you need, or you needed to know where you need to move them in order to do something on Rujira. And what you're saying now is you connect your wallets in brackets, because I mean, you still need to connect all of them. Shout out to Kepler here. I personally love it the most. And you start doing what you want to do, and the UI figures out for you what exactly needs to happen in the background. So do you have enough assets on this chain, or you need to deposit something more from the base layer? Or yeah, I mean, basically that's kind of the thing, right? And it does it all for you, and you just need to sign the transaction, the logic that is being prompted to you, and that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's you nailed it. It's much simpler, and no having to click on the drop down and select various wallets and addresses. It's a big upgrade. It's
Yeah,
very
and
very
I think I love it because what even me, and like, and I know if it happens to you, but in the past when I deposited money, and I thought I have something on ThoughtChain already from the BTC and not only on Bitcoin, and but then you wanted to do a swap and you were like, fuck, where's my money? Because there is like zero, because you forgot you didn't deposit it to ThoughtChain, for example, and you wanted to do a market order on the order book. Then even me, I was like, oh, for a second you feel like, shit, where are my funds? And this is a feeling that is like you can't really build trust on, right? If it's happening for us. And so now, I mean, I tried it already, and it's just like beautiful. You will see, and you will try it yourself. It's big upgrade, and it will make using Rujira, as you say, as simple as using Binance or any other financial application. It will never be easy, right? Because it's still finance, but as simple as possible.
Yeah, actually, it's also, you make me think it's even better in terms of knowing where your assets are, because even now we have also unified the portfolio page. So before, in the portfolio page, well, you have this combined view, but it was read-only, and you have also to pick your wallets. Now it's also just a single page with one wallet and all the connected chain, all the assets there. And that's something that you cannot get on a centralized exchange. On a centralized exchange, you just send funds to a black box, and this black box has no knowledge of which wallet you control, or actually they are probably tracking that, but they don't show you your balance on chain, and you cannot interact with those directly. And here you can just connect everything, and you see in one place all your assets on all the different chain, even if you don't deposit them on Rujira.
Yeah, agree. I think what is also perhaps interesting in terms of why this changes sometimes takes so long and are so substantial is I realized that when Hans was brainstorming about this change, that everything really starts in the moment you model the data structure in the backend, right? And this was like done in the very beginnings by Hans of us moving to ThoughtChain and building everything up here. So also over time there is this development of knowledge, and now the ability to change everything from chain agnostic to basically asset agnostic. And this is really like doing this, testing it, deploying it, is just way more difficult than just implementing a bit more logic in the front end. Yeah, and I think this is really obviously nobody will see that who doesn't follow the API repo, for example. Yeah,
It's technical wonders. Yeah, I think
yeah.
it would make a lot more sense once we show it on screen, but I think that gives already a very clear image.
Perhaps here, Patriot, your thoughts, any questions, something that came up during this?
Well, no, I think what you're building is quite powerful here, right? I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk. I'm trying to think of a corollary with real life, and how does this change the game? And I'm thinking of all these things, and I'm like, this is just simply a bank, right? But you go to the bank, they don't care who you are. You show up with money in multiple different currencies if you want. You give them money, it's tied to you, and they say, how can I help you? What do you want to do? Right? No KYC, nothing like this. I mean, this is stupidly powerful. And when we talk about, liberating the world, economically redefining everything. This is literally it. This is it. We have, I think, really figured it out here with Thorchain being base architecture, and now Rujira can build on top of that, where, you know, funds are held in vaults, and then people can do what they want to do with these funds. It's truly incredible. And if you guys, I don't know if you saw, we had the Shapeshift, H-Pain, big guy over there. He recently had his bank account frozen, right? He's no longer allowed to use Chase Bank. That's what you're doing here, boys. You're stopping that nonsense. This is the solution to that. And so when we say economic labor of the world, I sometimes worry that sounds cliche or over, you know, dramatized, but it's not. And one question I have actually is not for me, but it's for the audience here. What can you tell them? Because I know there's a lot of people like Jambone, Little Bunny, and many others. No, Only Hans is engaged. And shout out to all the Thor chads in here. I'm seeing you. You know, they're testing. Do you want them to specifically concentrate on a primitive? Because I know they're testing. They're trying to find bugs. What would you say to the audience? What can they do to help you guys out even more than they already are, if anything at all?
So they are doing great already. I mean, especially like Little Bunny is amazing. He's a legend tester. He tests everything and does all the little things and help us to improve a lot. John Bomber is also great with that. Proof of laziness. Actually, all of those guys, they have been created. They have been also the reason behind this change to this Omnichain architecture, because there were always like a recurring feedback was that, okay, it's Omnichain, but I still have to select my wallet. Like it doesn't really feel Omnichain. I still only see the balance of this chain I've selected. And this was what drives this big change in the first place. So really, yeah, they are doing great already. And then it would be just about anyone listening now, use the product. If you spot bugs, like we have already spot quite a few, so we are having a first round of revisions. Once this is out, like give us a bit more time. Once it's on mainnet, effectively, go try it out. If you spot anything, let us know. You think things to be improved, let us know. We take all the precise, like constructive feedback into account, and that's how we iterate and make it better.
Yeah, amazing. But I see Mark has the hand raised. Mark, what's the point?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I think back to Patriot's point, we shouldn't understate the importance of the efforts behind Omnichain. So many people have tried to gather, you know, sort of a unified Omnichain experience, encompassing all the different ecosystems and the way they work and all that. And nobody has really nailed it. And at the same time, I think many of us have been in crypto for long. We just see how the industry gets more and more fragmented. Like, let's take the stablecoin industry, which is obviously exploding these days. If you're a new stablecoin, I don't know, PayPal, you have PyUSD. Where are you going to go to distribute your stablecoin far and wide? You can go and talk to every single freaking foundation in all these different chains and ecosystems, which is very tedious, very expensive, and whatnot. Or with Rujira, you can set up a very, very dense, deep liquidity pool, and have all the cross-chain capabilities out of the box, really, and all the other features, obviously, that Rujira has. That's just one industry, which is obviously exploding and incredibly large. If you're an on and off ramp, you can have swaps, sure, like, okay, you on-ramp your dollars and euros and whatnot, and then you might be able to swap it to a crypto. But you want to do much more than that as an on-ramp. You want to offer loans. You want to offer all these different features that we know from DeFi. Now, on and off ramps, they can do that using Rujira rails. So you can just, you know, pick your poison, pick your industry where you want to unify, and Rujira really stands to nail that for all these different incumbents out there and newcomers coming to the industry. So yeah, I just don't want to, you know, we speak about Omnichain, it's like, it's just a UI update. Really, the opportunity here is so freaking large, and it's so important that we get it right before we really start to attack all these different industries that we can bring so much value to.
Yeah, I think this is an important point, and this is not like it doesn't stop here, right? There is this very interesting concept that is still a concept not developed. Like, don't get too excited, but we have talked a lot about the topic of bind assets. So I think then you are starting to go into this amazing opportunity where you can create a token, a stablecoin on ThoughtChain and then distribute it to all the connected chains. Again, it's just a thought. There's nothing worked out, no economic security, blah, blah, blah. Like, feel free to go whatever. But I think just to understand that it doesn't stop here just with an UI upgrade, right?
You know, absolutely. Like the capability to also export assets that are native to ThoughtChain to any connected chain is a very powerful primitive, and I think it's also what could attract the project in the future to conduct their fundraise and launch their token via the Rujira launchpad, because that would mean effectively that you do that once on Rujira, and then you can get natively via ThoughtChain infrastructure your token exported to any of the connected chain, and you don't need a third-party bridge, or you don't need to wrap by some centralized custodian that's gonna put that into a multi-sig. So it's very powerful, yeah, for stablecoin issuer, but really for any token issuer for that matter. So yeah, very much looking forward we get there. Still a bit of a way to go. We need to build some more core primitive first, but it's all coming. Like it's we have a clear vision. We have like things we can do thanks to ThoughtChain that are very unique, and yeah, it's once we have also species together, it's I think we really can make a dance. This is very powerful stuff, and nothing can replicate it without the ThoughtChain infrastructure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, so many ideas. I think that's probably more our problem than at the moment than it helps, because there's really so much to do that we do, and yeah, it's for so many months and years to build. I think to really nail this, like Patriot said, and deliver this bank-like experience and a real UI and a real user experience that you want to use and that provides real value to you, and it's not noise in terms of crypto.
New economic rails for the economy of this world. It's and yeah, and I hope it's eventually it goes beyond just blockchain stuff. Just mentioning that because I had an interesting call this morning with a project that is interested to launch on Rujira, and what they do is they bought some acre of lands and they do forestry, like they plant trees, they grow trees for several years, and then they manage the forest, and eventually they cut the tree and sell them to the wood industry for people who build stuff with wood and replant new ones. And it's like a business, a real world business with cash flow. But it happened that the guy who started that is also very much a blockchain guy. He's actually a dev part of the day, and the rest now he manages forest. And yeah, he used to be in the Terra ecosystem. They are looking for a new home, and Rujira is definitely on the list. And that's, I think, very cool, because eventually, like imagine like you can have a business, like a real world business, but that decide to operate on chain because they get better tool and more transparency and the ability to raise capital and to be listed like a public company from day one if they wish to, but at a fraction of the cost that it would cost if you were to do that in the real world, and without all those friction. And I mean, you still have to need a legal wrapper, and because you have a real world business to operate, but it can transform the experience as well and lower the barrier to entrepreneurship and capital raise dramatically. And that's also what we are aiming for. And yeah, so a lot of cool stuff happening. And yeah, it's when we say building a new financial infrastructure for the future, it's not just about crypto, it's also about going beyond that eventually. And we're also a project like Mocha, we're looking to do real world payments powered by ThoughtChain rails. Like it's a lot of stuff that can really be done using those primitives. So yeah, that's that's what we are on now. The improvements of the UX and the data structure for Omnichain, and that's just one of the many stepping stones toward much bigger ecosystem.
Cool. As we said always, that the Friday spaces will not drag on for hours. What is like one thing, and like you can obviously talk about it more, but PM, then Mark, then Patriot, what is one thing you're looking forward for in the next week and what you're doing?
Oh, well, in the next week, for me, it's definitely credit accounts. I was saying earlier, so we are just waiting for Albon quality assessment team to put the rubber stamp on the last version of the audit reports, and then we will be able to deploy the code on mainnet and start doing like testing because it's a bit different when you're on mainnet versus StageNet, which has lower liquidity and those constraints. And yeah, then starts really getting proper feedback and allow people to use all their native assets to borrow against Rujira. And will be a phase plan that will have very low cap initially. We want to have a second layer of security because we are using credit account, such an important primitive that will also allow us to do stablecoin and perhaps V2 eventually. But we want to do a lot of resiliency testing, and so we are going to do also a competition with Code for Arena over a month with a probably 40K prize pool, inviting white hacker to come and try to break the system. So while we do that, we also keep the caps very low. Once this is done, meantime, people will test, we'll be able to improve further the UX, spot any issues, and then once this is done, we can start to raise the caps and allow people to really start onboarding, deposit your BTC as a secured asset, borrow USDT or USDC on any chain you want, or on Rujira and put it at work. It's all coming together. And for me personally, it's very exciting because it's also this primitive that's going to allow us to do much more complex compositions, and notably like the one says that 1,000 times I'm so looking forward is concentrated liquidity because that's also what's going to help top chain effectively put much more efficient code out there. They route their trades partly via the app layer. And once we have that, combined with credit account, we can also start to do very good delta neutral strategies and build some sort of high yield saving accounts where people don't even know they are providing liquidity in the backend, but the yield is sustainable, and they don't get exposure to crypto price if they don't want to, or they can get only exposure to Bitcoin or to ETH or whatever, and get like an option to get high yield on those assets. And at the same time, provide service for the ecosystem, because in the backend, it's providing liquidity and therefore facilitating volumes and fees for the ecosystem. So yeah, credit accounts, a big one to come, and that's what we'll be excited for next week.
The danger, JP, of asking PM for one thing is that you're going to get three or four that leaves nothing for the rest of us.
Sorry, guys. Every time.
No, what I look forward to this coming week is obviously the first loans on mainnet, and the first liquidation is actually perhaps even an historic moment, being able to liquidate, let's say, secured BTC or secured ETH, which is pretty much native assets, and buying that at a discount. I can't think of anyone who's achieved that. So that's going to be somewhat historic. I look very much forward to perhaps be the first one to get liquidated with my secured BTC or secured ETH.
That would
I'm
actually
going
be
to try
really
it for
fun.
sure.
That would be really funny to have a contest. Who can be the first to get liquidated on purpose? Maybe they should get like a little prize or something. That would be a really fun thing to do. Just try to make the worst bet possible, and the first one liquidated just wins. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I love it. I like that. No, let's do this. 1,000 Ruji for whoever is the first one to get liquidated, and we'll be able to see the address. So just yeah, love it. Let's do that. Great idea.
If you're listening to this and if you're shit at making money, this is the competition for you. This is perfect. Use your shitty powers. You can win 1,000 Rujira. Let's go.
Yeah,
Oh,
but that's what I
great.
look forward to. This is what I look forward
Yeah.
to this week. Seeing all you degens getting liquidated, I guess.
Good one, Mark. Actually, that's better. That's better than borrowing. It's a liquidation part. That's a fun.
This is fantastic. Hey, so yeah, I would have said things that you guys said, but I do have 2 questions if it is okay. So yesterday I went to the XRP community and I was just wishing Thanksgiving and talking about, hey, lending's coming. I have a question after this, but imagine I'm an XRP person, right? Could you make the pitch to me? How should I deliver this? They have XRP, they've got their own wallet. Like, what wallet do you think they should choose? Do we have compatibility yet? Because they're very excited about it. So maybe give me a little quick 101 on how I should make this pitch to XRP.
So XRP, let me just check our list of wallets, but we had integrated one wallet that was demanded by the community a while ago, which is Xaman.
Yeah. Examine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Xaman. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, pardon my French. I don't know how to pronounce
Yeah,
that.
no worries.
That would be the one they can use at the moment. We'll add more in the future, but just a matter of priorities. They can also use Multisig, which support XRP, and I suspect no, CTRL doesn't do XRP. So it's either Xaman or Multisig. Then they need a Torchain compatible wallet. So see if they use Multisig, that's all they need. Otherwise, they can download Kepler to have a Torchain compatible. They connect those two wallets to Rujira. Click on deposits. There is one transaction to deposit their XRP on the app layer on Rujira, the same way they would deposit XRP on Binance or anywhere. And go to the borrow page and put your XRP as collateral and borrow whatever you want to borrow. That's it. It's very easy.
Love
and,
it.
We'll showcase it and even do like little videos once we are on with the live stream, so you can even refer to that.
A little insider information on that part. At Xamin wallet, I mean, you need to get a wallet, right? So you guys, that's fine because it is the biggest wallet. But an upcomer that their community really enjoys, just due to previous dramas, is Joey wallet. I know we talked about that before, but I just want to put that out there again. JP, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was just trying to say that definitely there will be more wallets coming, and just like wherever you like, set them to us, me, whoever, and we'll manage to put them in the pipeline. But I think what is exciting here, and this is the last part of the pitch, is you use your Xamen wallet to onboard, to make it possible to use your XRP, because you can't at this moment, right? And then you have Kepler, which is the signer that you will use to do anything. But the cool thing about Kepler is it also has all these other connected chains. So if you take out a loan, you can take a loan in USDC on Ethereum, and you already have your Ethereum address, right? Or you can take USDT on Tron, because you have a Tron address, I think. So, well, okay, we're not 100% sure there. But just to, with the Kepler wallet, you have all the possibilities to like actually not only use the funds on Rujira, but also wherever you want.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And then the last question, I get this a lot, and then someone asked him Rujira as well. Just basic. I know time is always hard, but when are you guys expecting? We'll have a functional lending thing where we're comfortable with it, really release it. And another time frame is like, I get this all the time. When will Ruji stakers get yield for the first time? Blah blah blah, stuff like that. I don't know who wants to take that.
Okay, so on the when for landing, so that's very much it. Like next week, it's gonna hit mainnet, but with very low caps. Then it's a matter of when we start. So shortly after that, we should start this 4 weeks hacker competition to stress test the system, and after that, we start scaling. So I would say 1 month and a half, let's say total, and then we will increase the caps and people can start borrowing at more scale at least. And then on the when for stacker distribution, now we have the tool we need, but it's just a matter of priorities. Like we have 100,000 things in parallel. It's like we could move the focus next, and it's probably gonna get to that not too while ago. But for example, if you ask me, like, I much rather spend once Create Account is out, I much rather spend the time doing consolidated liquidity, for example, or even stablecoin or spot margin, stuff that are going to generate more revenue rather than distributing a small pot of revenue, which is going to be a one-off thing, and then not much after that. So I really don't think there is a rush. Like, it's not like if Stacker were losing out completely. Like, revenue is accumulating, but right now it's very little. What we need to focus on is building those revenue generating apps, and then I think moving the focus on just fixing the revenue converter and using the on-chain scheduler to manage the distribution of those fees. That's relatively easy. But yeah, priorities. That's really the thing.
There you go. I think that totally makes sense, right? Get generating revenue and then get to that point, 100%. And some new people just joined, guys. First one to get liquidated, you get a prize, 1,000 Rujira. So put on your worst game possible. I want to see losers out there. Let's get it done, boys. 1,000 Rujira. I think this is such a I think this is great. Second place,
love it. Great idea. Great idea.
If second place, I'll give you 25 rune. Okay, personally. So second one to get liquidated. All right. Okay, I don't got anything else, guys. This is awesome. I'm really excited to show everyone this. Good call. Let's get this thing totally dialed in, and then we can show the world, and then we just go into turbo promotion mode. And I hope you guys are galvanized and excited to get this going. I know I am.
Yeah, for sure. We are. I'm looking most forward to hopefully demoing the Omnichain next Friday. Then this is my part of next week. So yeah, I'd say see you guys next week. I give everybody the chance to say a last word, and then Erudite, feel free to close the space.
Pragmatic.
Look, yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, really excited about that one, guys. Once it goes live, please have a try, borrow little amounts as much as the liquidity cap will allow you to do. Will probably be around 10K for USDC and 10K for USDT. So just try a bit and get the feeling, see how it is, provide feedback, and let us know.
Yeah, excellent. And guys, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Super thrilled to see the progress. It's really coming to a head now. A lot of the work, as you said early, Pragmatic Monkey, is just the background stuff that no one sees, laying the plumbing, I think Mark said, which was a great analogy. Just keep doing what you're doing. So when we hit this thing, it's ready to go, stable, secure, and we can just send it, boys. You guys, I'm so ready. Let's go. I'm so pumped.
Let's go. Thanks, guys.
Sneddies. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.